Don't be long for the end is nigh. So shut your ears when away from the humdrum.
Yes, so Hairless here. In my recent members Pentatonix poll, I asked what type of song by Pentatonix do people want to hear next, a happy, fun, upbeat one, or more of a calm, serious, mellow one. The results were exactly 50-50, so I said we'll go for a more fun, upbeat one first, and the next one will be the opposite. A lot of the comments suggested this song. This is Come Along. I don't know the song, so I went to listen to the original song. That's by Cosmo Sheldrake, and I'm baffled because I was thinking I don't know this song, but then I recognise some of it.
Come along now, run away from the humdrum.
That's the chorus, that's the bit I recognise, particularly the humdrum bit. Are there other covers of it? I feel like I've heard a darker version before, perhaps sung in a lower voice. I saw one comment on that video saying that it was like a Halloween shanty, which I think is a great description. I won't get too much into the original song. Here are the lyrics on the screen. Please pause and read through because they're definitely interesting. Quite wacky, crazy. Overall, it's definitely a fun song. The first line talks about Heffalump. That is unlocking childhood memories for me. There was this song from Winnie the Pooh that's been stored away and now has come back into my mind.
A Heffalump or Woozle is very confusing.
So, to be honest, I just want to get straight into this one. It could be quite nuts. I'm in the mood for something fun and maybe, judging by the original song, a bit strange.
Come along, catch a heffalump. Sit with me on a muddy clump. We'll sing a song of days gone by.
Run along, no, don't be glum. Get you gone now, have some fun. Don't be long for the end is nigh. Don't let moments pass along and waste before your eyes. Watch with me in the Burkhart groves. Come with me in the slidey toes and never ask us why. Come along now. Run away from the humdrum. We'll go to a place that is safe from greed, anger, and boredom. We'll dance and sing till sundown and feast with abandon. We'll sleep when the morning comes and we'll rise by the sounds of the birds' song. We'll be.
Whoa. This is certainly a fun one. I can see why everyone was commenting this one. Not sure about happy, but it's definitely fun, definitely upbeat. Before I get into the music, I love the set and the outfit choices. Everything's so colour coordinated. For example, if we look at matte and then the background, the red, blue and white. And also not, we've got Scott jumping out in this green suit with his orange shirt. I might set up a donations page so I can buy Scott's suit. Alright, let's do our first pause here. If you don't want to hear my analysis on what we've just heard, go to the timestamp. Same key as the original. C minor. That's a similarity right from the off. Otherwise, the introduction of the original song, it's much, much longer. There's a lot more time to build whatever it is they're trying to build. To me, it's tension.
Come along.
That's 40 seconds in the original with all these brass instruments. It's quite unsettling, I think. Pentatonix, on the other hand, they make it quick. Straight in on this unprepared, unresolved chord. So they've turned a 40-second introduction into 1 or 2 seconds. The chord that we're hearing, this augmented 7th chord. Then we enter. First thing that I really noticed was this low note from Matt.
On a muddy clump. We'll sing a song.
That's one of the lowest notes I've heard him sing to date. That's a bottom C. And it's quite an airy sound. At the time I was wondering if that airy sound was to compromise, perhaps for range. That's the kind of sound someone makes when they can't quite get low enough for that note. Boom, boom. That kind of thing. But because it's him and it's Pentatonix, he's probably doing it purposefully. If Avi were singing that, it would be a completely different sound. Well, later on we do get the same note sung by Matt, much more powerful. So that's an interesting choice to have this airy note at the start.
We'll sing a song.
I like how he's also singing every other beat. Dum, dum. Whereas in the next section, he sings every beat. It really adds intensity.
Run along now, don't be glum. Get you gone.
I mentioned intensity. I think the intensity is brewing. We're coming off Scott's melody where he has a low note actually.
Days gone by.
Then everyone else comes in with this homophonic ah, also adding to the overall feel.
By.
This would be so fun to transcribe this opening, I really like it. Let me do it, cue Sir Hairless from the future. My excuse is I'm showing you Matt's part. As usual, I'll do it without a beat, but I do like Kevin's effects here in this introduction. We get clicks and water drop effects, those kind of sounds.
Come along, catch a half a lump. Sit with me on a muddy clump.
So then Kirsty gets the melody. I like the handover to her for the melody, and she does a great job here, great character role.
Run along now, don't be glum. Get you gone now, have some fun.
Her choice of vibrato really stands out to me. More now in my recent Pentatonix reactions, which have been more recent because they've been from the Matt era. I've only actually done 2 from the Matt era, so if you do want to catch up, the cards for them will be up here. Her first line, don't be glum. She has this rapid, light vibrato wobbles on her voice, but then no vibrato really for the rest of her solo.
Run along now, don't be glum. Get you gone now, have some fun. Don't be long for the end.
Also, I love the backing vocals there. Dabba-dum, dabba-dum. It's a very Carol of the Bells type polyphony here.
Run along now, don't be glum.
Well, actually no, because it's not counterpoint. They're not all these independent lines crossing over each other rhythmically and melodically. So it's strange how Carol of the Bells is what comes to mind here. But it's in that style.
Get you gone now, have some fun. Don't be long for the
On that note, their Carol of the Bells song performance video, currently that's the performance I've given my highest ever rating to. So if you're feeling Christmassy in June, where I am, the summer weather is pathetic right now, it's really, really sad. Do go and check out my reaction to that after this and notice the similarities. Show it some love. So it was those rhythms there, and speaking of rhythms, we have 3 phrases here. I just want to highlight Scott and Mitch's parts because they're singing the same thing in harmony, the rhythms that they have at the end of each of these 3 phrases.
Run along now, don't be glum.
Bumpa.
Get you gone now, have some fun.
Bumpa dum.
Don't be long for the end is nigh.
Bum-ba-dum. These differences between the phrases, they nicely set us up for what comes next, which is again this homophonic R. And these homophonic R's, they seem to signal a section change. And then the next section is different. We get these very open, exaggerated, again, homophonic R's, but more sustained now. After that, we get a nice little lead up into the chorus by Kevin. And then I really like what they've done with the arrangement for the chorus. The first time round, we get this starting chord. So how the parts are arranged. We get Mitch on the bottom, Scott in the middle, and Kirsty on the top. The second time round though, we get Scott on the bottom, but singing his same note. Mitch is in the middle with this note. So he's taken over what Kirsty had before, because she had this note. And now Kirsty has moved up here. So Scott and Mitch's role have changed from bottom to middle, and vice versa. But Scott's note hasn't changed, whereas the other 2 notes have changed.
We'll dance and sing till sundown.
Kirsty's note now as well is 1 octave above Mitch's first note. The first time round is very interesting hearing Mitch sing relatively low. His starting note, listen out for that because he then descends.
Come along now.
And yeah, again, compliments to Matt on my 3rd time hearing him.
Sundown and feast with abandon. We'll sleep when the
It's just such a solid sound. I've said before he has an instrumental sound, and this is a really good example. Alright, let's carry on.
sounds of the birds. We'll be here when the world slows down and the sunbeams fade away. Keeping time by a pendulum as the fabric starts to fray. There's no such thing as time to kill, nor time to throw away. Come along now. Run away from a humdrum. We'll go to a place that is safe from greed, anger, and boredom. We'll dance and sing till sundown and feast with abandon. We'll sleep when the morning comes and we'll rise by the sounds of the birds' song.
Come with me, catch a rare type specimen. Cuddle up with the hesitant skeleton. We'll break our fast with friends.
Once we're fed, we shall disappear rapidly. Many moons to the west of here and happily. Our journey never ends. Shut your ears when sirens sing. Tie our bands to your feet. Listen up and you won't go wrong again.
This looks so fun to sing. I'd love to sing that. I'd love to sing that. Yeah, some more cool things there. Let's go over some of them. So from where we carried on, in the original at this point, aside from the melody, things are quite static.
Slows down.
Exaggerated by the static trumpet note. I love what Pentatonix have done. So nice. So Matt takes a static roll with his drone bass note, which means that as the other parts move around it, dissonances are created because he's not moving.
We'll be here when the world slows down.
Scott has a lovely chromatic descending line. Mitch also does, but he stays still for 2 consecutive notes. So Matt is static, Scott is always moving down, Mitch is kind of half and half. And Mitch starts above Kirsty as well, and then they cross over each other. Let me hop to the piano for this and show you what they're singing. We're in organ mode because of Matt's sustained note at the bottom. These are the starting notes for Scott, Mitch, Kirsty. I'll play it slowly. Again, we get a great use of contrast to connect sections, as weird as that might sound. It's layered on away, and then homophonic on keeping time.
Keeping time.
Alright, I mean the next bit, go on Mitch.
There's no such thing as time to kill.
And then, go on Mitch. That's 2 Merry Mitch slaps in 2 videos. I think everyone are just recommending me the videos that have Mitch slap moments in them. After that, there's a bit where the lyrics are "Rise by the sound of the bird songs," and then we get some oohs to imitate bird singing. That's how I see it. In the original song, it's very strange at this moment. We get these kind of woodwind pipe type sounds. And they're not in tune as per equal temperament. So basically, by the notes on the piano, each one of them is a note, which is kind of how we view most music. These notes that we're hearing, they're not perfectly in tune. Pentatonix being human voices, the preference is obviously to be in tune by those standards. I personally prefer this, the in tune version. Mitch and Kirsty, they're working so well together, as we so often see. And they're above Matt and Scott, who are working really nicely together as well. They have a much simpler static drone-in harmony.
Come with me.
That then leads into Matt's solo, and I'm getting cartoon villain vibes. Don't ask me why.
Specimen, cuddle up with the hesitant skeleton.
Maybe it's the theatrical end of his solo on Friends.
We'll break our fast with friends.
And then, of course, a nice Mitch solo.
Once we're fed, we shall disappear rapidly. Many moons to the west of here and happily.
Completely unrelated, but this is my 3rd time seeing something from the Matt era. I'm noticing tattoos on Mitch and Kirsty. I think Scott might have some too. I'm just curious, do Kevin and Matt also have tattoos? And then we get this bit.
Shut your ears when sirens sing.
They've captured the essence of the same moment in the original song nicely, I think.
Shut your ears when sirens sing.
In the original, all the other parts are just rising up. It's the same with Pentatonix, but they all begin with a descent first.
Shut your ears when sirens sing.
These are the chords that we hear. Matt at the bottom, Scott in the middle, Mitch at the top. And then they go up. And then everyone gets words. Homophonically, they sing "to your feet."
To your feet.
They're exaggerating this 4/3 suspension. So this note here, resolving to here. And that's even more exaggerated because they flutter between those 2 notes. And that's where we get to. Blimey. I think there's only about 45 seconds left, so let's carry on to the end.
Won't go wrong again. Float along on a verseless song and then get to where the 2 ends meet. Come along now. Run away from a humdrum. We'll go to a place that is safe from greed, anger, and boredom. We'll dance and sing till sundown and feast with abandon. We'll sleep when the morning comes and we'll rise by the sounds of the bird song.
Whoa, that ending, that's relaxed me. Goosebumps. Eyes probably gone a bit red. About 20 seconds ago, I was riled up. I felt manic. I was wondering if I'd gone mad. That ending, whew. Let's talk about this ending first. In the original, there is something similar. We hear it, and then at that point there, we've now heard C major, when we were in C minor. Finishing something with a major chord, happy, when the music has been in minor, sad. This is known as a tierce de Picardy, or a Picardy third, as more people probably know it, because it's the third note, 1, 2, 3, that determines if the chord is minor or major. This whole last section, it's kind of like a Picardy ending, if I can say that. It's very nice, it flutters between the major and minor, but it does actually end in minor. As we hear that minor third instead of the major third. So it's a little bit of an emotional roller coaster. We're thinking we're going to end on a positive note after a minor song, but no, he leaves us with the minor. Pentatonix though, they have embraced the happy, the major. They finish on that. Those last 45 seconds were pretty much a repeat of before, and then we have this last section. It was just lovely, just really nice. Choral in style, again reminding me of Carol of the Bells, this time because of the polyphony, the counterpoint. Matt's even got the bass jumps in there that Avi had. I did a transcription of Carol of the Bells if you're interested in seeing the music in my reaction. Mitch as well, ethereal. Look, I don't have much more to say. That was a really, really cool arrangement. Really cool original song as well. So different. I really like it. So, let me leave you with a transcription of this final section. I'm going to go ahead and do that now. Some of the parts might surprise you a little bit. Do try and sing along as well.